involved in the terrorist attacks in London, on the London Bridge 8 years ago, and the courage that it must have taken to be able to go into something like that in helping people. I know that you mentioned that you've been a bouncer and that you've worked in some of the pretty rough areas in Hackney in London, and you've had many different experiences with dangerous situations. But I say that most people's response to something like that when danger occurs is fight or flight response. And for the fact that your instinctive nature is to help, even though you're still under the pressures of everything that humans face, which is fear. But your response to that is to always help. And I just think that is just so commendable. And you should be so proud of yourself for having that within you, because I know that if I was ever caught up in something like that, my instincts would be to run. And I'd just be just so scared, and I probably wouldn't do what you did. So if you can just take me aback a little bit, and just explain where that sort of comes from within you, where do you find that courage from, and the events of that day. How does somebody even get into something like that, and just your immediate response is to help.
Um, as I normally say, is about instinct. It's not even something I prepare. Because, as you mentioned, being done security work beside acting work all my life, I'm kind in a way experienced and trained in this kind of situation, with probably a clear idea of what is fake and what is real. Unfortunately, on that day, it was real. And bear in mind, I wasn't there with friend because we have a drink at the pub just nearby. And the time when I was out, there was, I still remember quite clear, a, a silence. It's not like in the movie when people scream. There was no screaming. There was only people running fast. And on the moment, in that few seconds, I see this running around, obviously, uh, I thought in my way, they should probably the running to the train station because it's nearby. No, so probably there is a huge amount of delay in train.
Yeah.
That was my rational mind. Despite I already have 7 bottles of beer because when I go out with my English friend, they drink in pint, I drink in bottle because otherwise I cannot cope with the liquid.
Yeah.
So it was a day off, so we had it was really tense. Then, unfortunately, there was a girl with the throat cut coming out the dark alley, which is just behind the side. And the first thing is to go inside the pub and try to find something to cover the blood. And realizing probably was a terrorist attack because already one happening in Westminster a few weeks earlier. You know,
Mm.
when a cop was stabbed inside the Westminster um, Parliament. And the first instance tried to help her. There were no bandage there, so in my mind, obviously, I was a little bit confusion. I was talk with people. There was a woman say she was a paramedic. So my first instinct is it was to help her, but because there were no proper bandage, to give an idea, it was to go to the hospital, which the London Bridge Hospital is 300 yards away from that. Then one happening, I hear the ambulance upstairs the bridge because the pub is just below the bridge. The unfortunate thing when I went upstairs, there was at least 3 body of people get killed. Yeah?
Wow.
And somebody tried to help them by give them like you know revitalization, but still go in my mind, the legs of the person lying on the floor go up like it was a balloon because the guys tried to push on the chest in order to maintain alive. The only thing I always say, if you don't stop the bleeding, it won't it won't help because somebody got an issue and immediately the squad, the armed police was arrived. There was a pub there was a pub upstairs as well, but there was the van just arrived. So I've been confronted by the police with a little bit of blood on my shirt because obviously the girl was bleeding. And I had a beer, but I keep the cool. I raised my arm. They understand I wasn't involved with the but I imagine where you got like five people with a rifle on you and you
Yeah.
try to keep in the cool. I have to say the cop, they were very professional. They understand, I
Okay.
wasn't involved with the crime. But
Hmm.
on a moment, I say that's how. Uh, so a couple of cops to follow me downstairs because obviously I couldn't take the bandage because I was not completely clear in mind in the time because it was all in the rush, adrenaline. That and then the cop that went to looking for the terrorist which was running away. Uh, the door of the pub that were closed because everybody, protect themselves. And what happening then? Because I spoke with my friend, they were aside. They told me there was Mick and Mark. There were two former paramedic.
Hmm.
They saved the girls by put a pullover around the neck and stopped the bleeding. When I coming back at the pub, which the
Hmm.
pub was closed, there was a lot of people scared and lost. There was even, I think, a German family with the children, which I say, for what I know, the terrorists are there, so you better running toward the hospital and the
Hmm.
station. Get in the station, I say that, because he had three children. I don't know if they understood me because they were, I think, German, maybe Dutch. I'm not sure. There was some. And then I got a lot of people standing by because they were scared. There was even a girl was our meeting. Which was Australian as well, and she was completely nuts because what happening in the meantime. I don't know if you've been in London Bridge in that particular area. There is like a little labyrinth with bars under
Okay.
the bridge,
Hmm.
and there is a cathedral, the Southwark Cathedral there. And
Hmm.
I remember only after because I did hear somebody just breathing out like
Mm.
and it was behind me. What I think the nurse she was coming back to help people, she got stabbed and dead. So she was they basically were behind me. For some reason, they decided the terrorists to go back and there was somebody tried to do, as I say, the rehabilitation with a press up on the chest. Again, if you don't stop the bleeding, you know, it
Mm. So
won't
you.
it
Mm.
won't necessarily work. So, you got to be clean in mind, no, despite of the situation or what the availability. So, keeping focus is not easy, but as you mentioned, I did work in security in some of the rough area of London, and not only that. I mean, I've been living in France and Spain. If you go to work in the suburb of France, especially Paris, it's still suburb. It can be rough. I could be Streatham or Tottenham 20, 30 years ago. But then
Mhm.
again, if you fair,
Mm.
with people, they know you're not corruptible, right?
Mm.
Or they kill you, or they let you go,
You
right?
say that so casually. Oh,
It's
they kill
that's
you or they let
I,
you
I mean
go.
I mean I had this conversation with professional security cop
Yeah.
or whatever. But even in the work I did when I was in duty, nothing major happened. I mean, it doesn't mean people didn't try to do things, but with
Mm.
me, they don't
No.
because they know I will put my life on it.
Yeah.
It's the only way you're gonna win.
If you're
Uh, I,
willing.
I, that's the problem I say to everybody. Don't do a job you cannot do it. It's not like in the movie, what was it, The Bodyguard, where it was, Kevin Costner jumped
Kevin
to take the
Costner, yeah.
bullet. But that's kind of stupid because if you get a bullet of or your person you protected, you're gonna die, don't you? But you still can jump, maybe through his leg to avoid he get a bullet,
Yeah.
to move him out the shot, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's a film, and that's how people think. People always thinking as in a film, right?
Yes. Movies.
And the reality again is not a film. So because people know with me don't gonna be the easy, they wouldn't do stuff with me when I'm in duty because they know I'm gonna give them what I have to give. So, I mean, they always told me, "Oh, people they don't pay you enough." Exactly, they're never gonna pay me enough. Neither you, don't you? Because you gotta do your bloody business. That's the
Yeah.
terminology. I haven't go to somebody and say, "I'm the security. I'm gonna beat you up." Good luck with it. I mean, there are people 3 times my size.
Mhm.
If I only go
Yeah.
to, I'm not big. I'm 5'8". I'm not
Hmm.
anything big, but the attitude is very important. But to be clear is very important. So even in that occasion, didn't know what happened, but then I realized because what happened after the pub, and I got these 20 people all scared. And then again, like I said, this German or Dutch couple, which they probably went to the station, which was the near there. We went to another restaurant nearby, which they didn't want to even us letting in at the beginning. I remember the girl was called Jenny, the pub was called the Biz, but probably she was the assistant manager there. She understood the situation. It closed everybody in the pub, you know, and there where we stayed till the terrorist attempt finished. But speaking with people in the restaurant that ran away with us, they told me the terrorists they tried to go in a restaurant nearby, but while they enter, they tried to grab, I think, one of the waitress, and people in the restaurant understood the situation. They started to throw to the terrorists everything: plate, fork, bottle, glasses, even the chair. So imagine it was a restaurant full, everybody together. They understood. That's a good teamwork, and nobody had ever reported this story because it was a group of guys I meet in the pub. The terrorists give it up because when you have everything through you simultaneously with a kind of violence, and then everybody run away from the back of the kitchen, and there where I meet. It must be one of the pub in that little labyrinth or bar there is there. And then they ended up with me. With me, we went to that. So yeah, be focused because I mean, even me, obviously the people across the door. The first thing I had in my mind is taking a knife, but with a mentality, I don't gonna hold the knife in my hand because if the police see me with a shirt with a little bit of blood, plus I got a beard, uh, I may be get shot. So because the background is that I put the knife in my sleeve.
Mm.
So it's there if I
Yeah.
need it, but nobody gonna see it. And then I'm
Mhm.
gonna extinguish as well, just in case, because extinguish, let's say they're always good in certain situations, especially be working in a rough area. Not
Yeah.
because I like to hit the people with extinguish, but okay. If somebody got a knife, you're gonna extinguish, you can use for protection. That's
Yeah.
another story. Yeah, well, that's another story. It's not. So anyway, but at the time, this is one of the funny bit. We have two guys in the car got lost because imagine London Bridge was all blocked. In the meantime, the police was still looking, and we have these two young guys. But yeah, they maybe can look a particular area, but I start to say to one of the guys holding the key, yeah, but these guys they dress too cool to be terrorists. I mean, it was a Saturday night, if I remember well. Now a Friday night, they look
Mhm.
like they go to clubbing. They're
Oh, okay.
not terrorists, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shiny shoes, shiny trousers.
Stylish.
You know,
Yeah.
they just care. So let them in, right?
Yeah.
But because they park the car near the restaurant, the sport police come back again because the
Hmm.
sign, in an area the car they don't go because the car don't go. And then again, I've been confronted, but again by the police because obviously say, yeah, no, it's two guys. We let them in because they got stuck. But again, they put the rifle on me another time. I mean, at the time I say, I hope they don't see the bloody knife fired in the sleeve because
Yeah.
otherwise, yeah. But even this time, the cop was really cool. The cop was,
Nice.
he
Nice. Yeah.
understood
He
you
understood.
weren't, you weren't involved. And uh, and that was pretty much all. Then obviously I can make any funny story you want about people hiding in the toilet till the last minute possible, and I could even pee, so I ended up to pee.
Everybody was just hiding. Yeah.
And people that were scared. It's obviously I was worried too because say I left my friend in the pub. I couldn't communicate. I did because I said there was even a girl with us. I'm meeting up outside, which she was basically freeze because
Mm,
obviously there was the body I just mentioned before behind us. I say, Ross, you need to move. I literally have to slap her to make her wake up because
she
you
just
need to run. Nah, she
froze.
was pretty freeze. I mean, there were
Wow.
all the people freeze,
Yeah.
obviously, but people you need to move everybody. We need to go away from here because because the terrorists they went back to the London Borough Market, which is basically 100 yards, even less. I mean, you have to pass. So it was so maintaining the focus, try and then obviously the best thing happening is when people listening, but then there are people obviously that don't believe you because obviously there were people say, who the hell are you?
Have a, did you have a hard time with people believing you?
Of course, but I understood because I say I've been working in the security field, and even if you are a recognized security, in the case I wasn't, I was a guy with a pink white striped shirt with blood and a beard. You don't understand. You don't look probably the safest person in the planet in that moment. But you need to maintain the cool. In a way, it's something I used to be did where even when, as I told you, as security, I make the thing clear.
Mm,
That's me. Yeah, I
yeah.
know people that don't believe me even when I say that, but that's normal because people want to look better than what they are, really. But that's another story. So obviously, people didn't believe it. Somebody told me, "Oh, what?" So anyway, we go there. You do what you like. Then I didn't even follow if they follow us or not because it's not my business. We talk to me like 10, 15 seconds. We need to make a move because 10, 15 later, I see just behind me, behind even realized when I was talking with this other Australian girl, the woman got stabbed and she died. And that was exactly between the pub and the cathedral in the little hallway. So I saw this thing is still in my mind, this flash is still on my mind. The girl on the top of the bridge, you can see the leg up. The other guys try to resuscitate this woman stabbed. Even the police with the rifle on me even thought, they're being perfectly cool. Huh? And the one of the funny bit got back to me by people, even thought there were a lot of friends there. They even, like they do in England, request like a mention or something, which I didn't even think at the time. Right? And if I miss somebody, they start to say, oh, well, but if you done all of this, why they didn't give you an award? And I honestly don't know. I do know my friend requested, or they
Mm,
put me forward on it. Yeah, there is maybe a problem because I use a stage name for my privacy because I would use my real name,
mhm.
whatever. Especially because I did the job I used to be do, and because believe me or not, I'm not corruptible. I do have enemy. Try, you know even heavily. I got even, letter in the past to people say they're gonna kill me or whatever. I got message. I've been followed. I've been attacked on the street during my life. I mean, I'm 55. As I say, I live in four country. be honest, I haven't make much money neither in all the stuff I did. I just survive all the time. Plus, at the moment, I'm recovering from a series of heart attacks, so my life is even harder than expected than many people. So, I'll say it's something you do natural. Of course, I freeze even the moment because when one of the armed cop come with me downstairs because I want to show where the terrorists were and they obviously ran away. Initially, there is really like a dark hallway there beside the pub. My body freeze.
Mm,
It completely freeze. And I look at the cop. I say there, and then not even me mentally. I don't know what the hell happening. I turn.
mm,
Yeah, I went to the other side and I started to talk to people. So like I wouldn't know, I wouldn't interpret it like a divine thing, but my body just blank off,
yeah.
move. That's happening, and then I involve again with the people. But and the cop looking at me and he say thanks in a moment because he understand obviously I won't
Mm,
go with him. But initially I want to go. Then I naturally move out. Well, this is one of the things obviously some time ago because I do have flash of all this situation.
mm-hmm.
So that's how the human react. But I have to say, the few people like me that get back to Al Porter, like the poor Spanish guys try to hit somebody with a skate, he died. This woman, which probably he died, stepped exactly on the high borough London Bridge. Because to me that is high borough. That London Bridge is far far away. This woman, which was a nurse, she go back to try to help people. She died because she was stabbed. I mean, you need to understand, the people there have a mission to do whatever they believe or not. They won't give you any opportunity if you are a nurse or somebody try to help, because even as I mentioned, he was planned. If somebody stabbed somebody, then they went to stab together to finish off. If you see even last person die when he was running with them, chasing by the police, he didn't realize they were them. They stabbed him, and the other two close to him, they got to finish him, stab him, die, and that was on camera. It's a quite recruitment story. And I mean, I have to say, police responded as the best they could because when a terrorist they don't phone you before, so you got to be close. As
How do you
ready.
clarify your position?
Well, I'm here to make sure people are safe. I will do everything in my duty
Hmm.
to have it as it is, especially when I'm here. You
Yeah,
know, and that's as simple as it is. And then probably people gonna take it and make about it. But I'm not having a conversation. I say no more. Do what you need to do.
you don't, no talking, action.
I say no more. Do what you need to do because then you start to put a word another and it become a joke. It
Ah,
become a joke. I say you need to be serious. It's not like a conversation there. They want to do something, so they have to
yeah.
do it.
Are you scared of dying?
Sorry.
Are you scared of dying?
I'm
Does death scare you?
I've been obviously once you're dead. There is nothing you can do. I've been so many times confronting death,
Mm,
included with my heart attacks, which which is not something I'm not that scared anymore. It's not about being scared, but I see so many things people wouldn't believe. And anytime I say that, and people say, "Oh, what you can see," I don't want to talking about my brother and my personal life, but only working for country in the security field in Somalia, you wouldn't understood how bad it can be. Still now, obviously, life is pretty much corrupt. Make me make it on which is gonna make me a little bit political. You don't gonna have people like Donald Trump or Putney in power if the life was fair. That's
Mm.
that's that's pretty much, somebody got power, somebody got money, and they control. It doesn't mean the other the good either, but it just give you the idea. I'm not that say, that are evil, but if
Mhm.
they know good, neither the others. So,
Are you scared of
uh,
like leaving family behind? Like, have you got a family, married, children? Are you scared?
no, I never got married. Especially with the job I did, it was always complicated to have a steady job.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
my relationship they always finish for one reason or other. And no, I'm only more scared than anything. As I mentioned maybe before, what my father saw. Oh, I did because in England is only finished on few newspaper, but
Mm.
in Italy it was in the major news. So for a couple of days I've been interviewed, and the first thing my dad said to me, "You still haven't learned what I told you,"
You haven't
which
changed. Yeah.
yeah, it changed because you're gonna help all, they're gonna help you.
Mm.
And even now, I have to say, this thing returned me back negative because all the time people say, "Oh, but why did they give you an award?" You make it up a story. You figure it out. I say, well, like many people have been saved even in London in dangerous situation, and without my intervention, I never even get a thanks.
Mm. Yeah.
This is a fact. I think, and now I'm on the brink of life with my medical condition, everything. I pretty much left alone. Yeah, maybe got a couple of guys that can relate, but uh, that's pretty much. It's like what my granddad used to be said. You're born alone, you die alone. I mean, he didn't die alone. He died with all the son and daughter and nephew nearby, but he was quite poetic. I mean, he was a singer. He has his a poet in the mind. So yeah, it was quite complicated. As I say, even now because I do have flashback. Then sometimes my body doesn't respond completely. But even lately, the thing happening to me, I'm always getting paranoid because I don't know. Is somebody because I was too diligent on my security field
Yeah. Yeah.
to avoid the do dirty business where I work, or is somebody else because I've been attacked, I've been followed. It's not even like taking paranoid because even the door of my house they try to break into. Yeah, it's
So
think
you're
I've been
constantly
reported.
on guard.
I mean, if I don't make it like they wanna kill me.
Yeah.
Somebody obviously try to do some things because
Yeah.
you can find me. It's not like I'm hiding in the corner of the street.
Yeah.
There was situation after me on the street, and I clearly fight back.
Yeah.
I don't even know, but I'm a person talk on a level with everybody. I can talk to the homeless guys, like last one I took because at the end it was only the cigarette. Well, I can give you the cigarette if you want the cigarette.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a
Yeah.
big deal, really, but it doesn't gonna change your yeah, well, yeah, but I got my own issue. I'll say I've been done a lot of charity work as well. I've been organized event for Macmillan for raising money. So and all these things for free. I never get in
Yeah.
where founded. So I've been
Yeah.
involved with community stuff. But from there to being labeled as a liar,
That is
uh,
just, I mean, I don't understand why people wouldn't believe you, but people are always going to have a perspective of you, and we can't control how other people think about us. And I think it's just really sad that somebody wouldn't believe you.
I
I
mean,
think
it's
it's
not
really,
even
really
that.
sad.
It's not even that. It's just, as I say, I've been done all the things, and I'm living with this thing for the rest of my life. I do have people that were there on the day, obviously. Friend of mine, we actually meet once a month. Me, Ed, Mark, and Derek.
Hmm.
To have a drink, but still don't drink on the same level.
Hmm.
There is no
Yeah.
way. But we're talking to somebody else because we become kind of close friend. I even thought as a joke, I say to them, remember you closed the door of the pub, you didn't let me back. But it wasn't
Hmm.
true. They were on the other side. But
It's
now
very.
we are all dependable of technology.
Hmm.
That's complicated, and that's why terrorists in a way still even blowing because you got countries so powerful and countries so poor. I- If you want to go back on the 60 and 70, country like Beirut, that casino, girls used to be going around in mini skirts. They were pretty much, westernized even as that. But I mean, I know because you can see even there was a majestic documentary about that. That's the Night of Algeria or something like that, which tell the story how it's what. But that was in 1960. It show how the people in the 60s live in the part of the world, and now they have problem even to have the right kind of dress code. And but the Western world didn't seem to help even these. Is actually to be more interested to colonize, and then you got this negative, obviously, rebellion of people get washed brain by whatever political or religion. I'm not state to have a database now, and do this extreme terrorist attempt where they actually kill ordinary people which are on the same level.
Mm.
You know, they are basically on the same level of them. Yeah, obviously we are more worried about maybe not the Ferrari and the Lamborghini and or the bus or the food. They're more worried where we're going holiday, where we're gonna go to drink. So people thinking about themselves most of the time, and then we go back at the same thing. When I'm out, I'm always like to observe, and that's why it make me probably always alert since my childhood, really. But that's my personal point of view,
Hmm. Yeah, you've got
and
some great qualities, Joe. You've got some great qualities that I feel are definitely to be commended. I mean, just your bravery and your courage alone. So, what is it that you're actually doing at the moment then, Joe? Are you still in security? Are you still doing bouncing? Are you still a bouncer?
no, because I've been sick for the last 2 years for the heart
Ah,
condition. I've been
okay.
trying to recover, but even that is a very complicated situation. I won't mention that. I
Mhm.
try to do some acting activity for my well-being here and there, but
Mhm.
I haven't done much because I can't be concentrated like I used to be. Right?
Okay.
Because plus people, in the show business, they're very demanding, and with often with a very little experience. So I haven't had a real opportunity. Yes, I did a couple of charity things for fun, so that's
Mhm.
no, it wasn't a big deal because it's a charity thing. So but no, I've been trying to recovering, but stress level is quite high. I even thought that this episode of me being followed an attack happened as well. I even reported to the police. But, police got so many cases, and
Yeah.
because I look well. I always
Mhm.
say, I don't
Mhm.
look like the person. Oh, well, but you don't look that bad. You
No,
even
yeah.
look younger.
Mhm.
I know I'm 55. I maybe look slightly younger than my age, but it doesn't mean I'm that well.
Yeah, it's true. People can look well, but within and how they're feeling is completely different. So, something you want to
Yeah.
try and get into now? Then, is there anything that takes you that you're drawn to? other than
Well,
acting?
I
Or
mean,
is acting?
I always like art. As I say, I've been acting as for fun all my life. Sometime I did even some professional show. Of course, I did even a fiction in Italy for Sky. I did a theater play in France. Before digital become science. Now I used to be do photography exhibition, but now I'm gonna buy picture anymore because everybody are photographer. But
Yeah.
I done exhibition in France, back in Italy, even in UK. I mean,
Wow.
uh, I'm always tell a funny story because I was selected an exhibition in Wandsworth, which is in the southwest of London. That's like one picture for the local competition.
Mhm.
Because it's funny because I got this little man talk to me about my picture. It was kind of very demanding.
Mhm.
And then I asked him, but sorry, sir, but who are you? It was David Bailey. I mean,
Wow.
if you, I
David
say,
Bailey.
yeah, as I say, that's why you ask so many.
Yes.
It
So
was quite funny because it was David Bailey in person. Yeah, it was quite
what did he
funny
say
because
about your work?
yeah, he was talking about my pictures. Yeah, because it was a funny picture because it was
Yeah.
basically the cistern where the beer is made. But in perspective, there was a pub,
Hmm.
so it looked like a big pint behind the pub. They are called the factory. That's the time. That's what was funny. So even the idea was
Yeah.
funny, and the light was good because I managed to get on the sunset, so you got some light. So it was
Mhm.
each picture, as I say. I was wondering if people gonna understood the picture, but they actually did. Obviously, I didn't win anything, but it was, you know, the
So
funny bit.
photography is a yeah, that
Uh,
sounds so photography is a passion for
yeah,
you. Is that something
but
that you want to do?
nowadays you're gonna buy a picture anymore. There's been a done exhibition in Paris in some important gallery,
Yeah.
even in Rome in the temple of the Italian contemporary painting and artists. Then we have to go to talking about pop art because when I was young, I used to be hanging around in an area where there were all the Italian artists known in continental Europe. If I mention some artists, they're very pretty much well known in continental Europe or no in England. There was particularly maybe one people sometimes know Schifano, which was a pop artist on the level in continental of Andy Warhol, but Andy Warhol was more commercial, obviously, than Schifano, but now his level international is pretty much clean. So I grew up with the kind of people, and there was even the famous Italian director of the film industry, like Fellini or Sergio Leone, or the one doing the so-called Western, which in England they call spaghetti Western, but it's Western, were proper Western. And all the Italian popular artists there, but they always told me, go to find a job, the show business. It's not
You know,
something you're gonna survive.
photography sounds like you enjoy it, and art sounds like something that you enjoy, and you're clearly very good at it. And with what you've
It's the
seen in
only thing.
movies,
I mean,
got a lot.
it, it, it change human from animal in better. Otherwise, human are worse than animal. To tell you the truth.
Mm, mm,
Uh,
yeah,
because animal they do the things to survive wherever they do. Human they do things for the ego. Well, that's another story. That's another
yes,
story.
definitely. I could talk about that. I could talk to you for hours, Joe. You could write a book. I bet you've got some great stories, as well as
I
tragedy.
wrote a book, but it's a theater book. Well, to write my book is very complex because it's so many story
Okay.
and it's
Yeah.
so many story.
You could do
It's
like,
something I want to do.
yeah,
Is
yeah,
it will be. That's why when I talk to people, they wouldn't believe.
yeah. That
Uh,
and that's
so if I write a book, people are gonna say it's a fictional character anyway.
let them think whatever they want to think. The only person that needs to know the truth is you. The only
Yeah,
person.
well,
Nobody else needs to.
no, I wrote a book which I wrote script. Obviously, I was going maybe to find the money to do a movie, but then the COVID strike, and then I got because I wrote a comedy horror, a thriller. Obviously, I got. I give you an idea. I got only 4 story copyrighted, but I got plenty of story written.
You've got so many
Yeah,
stories. Yeah, you could like
yeah,
do loads of little
yeah.
books or.
And so I got so many stories. But to give you and then the only book I published, but that's a self-published, is the play I did in Paris in French. Obviously, I translate in French English. It's called Image Perdue. It's a surreal story about a murder, which I did in French when I was living for a little frame of my life.
Mm.
Père Lachaise. I don't know if you've ever been in Père Lachaise, you maybe know
No,
the area.
I love Italy. I've been to Italy 3 times.
But
Sicily.
that's Paris.
Um.
That's what's in Italy.
Oh
That's
no,
Paris.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And,
Yes,
in,
Italy,
in
Paris.
Rome, I wouldn't be able to do it the same thing because
No,
in Paris,
no.
now in Paris, you can work with theater and profit share. It's pretty much impossible to do in anywhere else. But thank you
But
for having me, Tina.
yes, yeah. It's honestly, it's been such a pleasure speaking with you,
Try.
Joe. And
I will try.
yes,
Never give up.
yes.
Never grow up. Never surrender.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for that, Joe. Never grow up, never surrender. I will
Yes.
definitely great words to live by. Thank you very much, Joe.